I want to talk hyperinflation. And I know the minute I say that word, some people's eyes might glaze over, but stick with me, okay? This is very important. It's going to let you know what to do with your money, when you should be buying real estate or any other assets. So I want you to pay attention. Grab your pen and grab your paper, okay? We're going to talk about what I've been looking at and kind of what I'm speculating, like things that I really think that are going to have to happen because this is how the rich want it. So make sure you keep it locked for all that and more. It's Crystal with the Cash Compass. All right, welcome back. I am here to teach you all the things that you should have learned in school about money, but for whatever reason, they forgot to mention it. Please be sure to subscribe because we talk about everything from personal finance to investing to the economy. Let's get into it. So the system is designed to keep the rich rich, okay? I think that we all kind of know that. We all understand that. There's tax laws are written to benefit the rich. If you know how to work the tax law, you cannot pay taxes. I mean, ask Amazon, right? So we know that that's kind of a fact. But let me walk through this a little bit more. How do the rich get richer, okay? Yes, they keep our wages absolutely flat or actually negative, depending on who you're asking. Yes, they keep on charging more prices for their products. But what do they also do? They purchase assets, and preferably at a discount. Nobody wants to buy a house at $500,000 and then tomorrow it drops down to $200,000, right? No. They're hiring smart people, okay? They're hiring their CPAs. They're hiring their economics professionals, people who are really analyzing this market, and they're buying deals when it makes the most sense and when it cash flows, okay? And what better way to get a cash flowing asset than in a recession when things drop down? I'll wait. When we talk about let your money work for you, that is literally what the rich do. Average Americans might go out looking for a better paying job or maybe get some more skills so that they can get, a better job, a different salary. But the rich just acquire assets and they literally just have that money make money for them. That's much more scalable than just trying to get your assets better. I mean, at a certain point, you can only work so much. You're going to have to sleep. You're going to have to see your kids, potentially. So let's let that kind of sit for a little bit while I talk about inflation and why I always say it is a silent tax. I want to take us to a whiteboard example. All right, guys, obviously my artwork is second to none, but please no requests for any art drawings. I don't have the time. I'm sorry. But anyways, I really want to drive this point home with the inflation being a silent tax. Let's say we have 3 people in society, okay? These are the average Joes, and this person with that smirk on his face, this is one of the higher ups, okay? So here we are. Everybody has $1 each, right? So we're thinking, great, everybody has equal purchasing power. We all want equality these days. I'm loving it. So let's say this is my goods. Oh my God, totally jacking this up. So let's say we have some goods. We have like, a banana or something, okay? So now the banana's $1. Everybody can buy a banana. And everybody has the same purchasing power. Now, let's say we have inflation, which is the expansion of the money supply, okay? When the money supply expands, it doesn't equally expand to everybody, right? So when they're actually printing money, do you get an extra dollar all of a sudden? No. It touches certain hands first, and then as that money moves through the economy, that's when we actually see the inflation take place and the prices rise because of the inflation, okay? So this higher up is going to get that money first because the inflation kind of hits those higher ups first, and it's supposed to trickle down, which it never does. Okay, so now this person has $2 or even $3 because they have been printing out of control right now. And this banana was only $1 at the time, okay? So now this guy who has access to that money can go ahead and grab up this good, grabs all the bananas. So now the banana guy is like, well, all my bananas are selling out, so now I'm going to sell this banana for $3 because at $1, it was getting grabbed up, and now I'm going to try to hike the price up so I can kind of, increase my bottom line. So what does that mean? That means you got priced out of the market, and now, obviously, you don't have any bananas. You're very sad. That's a tax. It's a kind of a roundabout tax, right? But you have less money to work with, right? Same thing as a regular tax. It's a kind of just more in your face because they take out 20% of your money or whatever. But inflation erodes your purchasing power because it kind of just drives prices up as all the people who get access to that money first get into the market and pick up stocks or pick up real estate. It drives the prices up. And that's how you are SOL. So we know inflation is the increase in money supply. I talk about that a little bit in this video up here, but basically the result of inflation is increasing prices. And of course, it's not only the expansion of the money supply that increases prices. It could be supply shock. It could be businesses just charging more money. So there's a lot of different factors that go into rising prices. But we know that expanding the money supply makes all of that possible, okay? But why wouldn't we see hyperinflation? Yes, they can kind of print as much money. When I say print, I'm talking like this. It's not actual dollars being printed for the most part, okay? So when they print the money and they put it in the system, if nobody actually uses it, we technically could not see any hyperinflation. And let's go right back to the whiteboard so I can show you what I mean. Okay, we are back at the whiteboard. These people are still sad because they really are still thinking about them damn bananas. But let's talk about this inflation and why it can't really go anywhere without the velocity of money. Okay, so again, we have the same three people in the society, and the government or the Federal Reserve, whoever, is creating all this extra cash. And we have all the money here, all the money here. They print all this money up, right? The Federal Reserve, they try to get into the economy, right? So eventually it goes to this higher up guy first, and eventually it reaches you, right? So now you have $1, you have $1. But you're like, listen, forget the bananas. I'm not buying a damn thing because I'm afraid, right? My job, I might lose my job. My wife or husband might lose their job. I need to make sure I'm saving more money in case of a rainy day. So now it doesn't really matter how much money I print. I could print all this money. The only thing that's going to get inflated as far as the prices are my savings account, right? Because as the money keeps getting printed, I'm going to just keep on saving. I'm not about to spend anything, okay? No lattes, no bananas. We have to actually see money moving around, people actually buying TVs and buying cars for there to actually be some money velocity for us to actually see an increase in prices. The money does go somewhere, but like I said, it's going straight into these bank accounts. Now, if we have confidence, right, something that kind of boosts your confidence. So let's say we give out some more stimulus checks. Well, maybe they'll get excited. That's not what happened last time, right? When people had the stimulus check last time, it either went straight into their savings, which our savings rate jumped up to 34%, which has never really been seen, or it went into the stock market. Until we see people actually being more confident, that money will not run through the economy and they will still be scared, okay? So that might be a reason why people will be a little bit less reluctant to spend money and why it doesn't really matter how much money they actually have printing. If people don't feel confident enough to spend it, we won't see hyperinflation. Okay, so now you see the technical reason why we cannot have hyperinflation, right? If they're printing all this money and putting it in the system, but nobody wants to move, people are afraid, nothing's going to happen, okay? They want their warp speed vaccine to come through to save the day. They want, UBI. They want another stimulus check. That has to kind of come through before people are actually spending their money. And until that money is moving through the economy, we can't really see hyperinflation technically. Now, let me tell you what I'm speculating. So now why I personally think that we won't see hyperinflation is because, like I kind of alluded to in the beginning of the video, the rich get richer by acquiring assets for the low, okay? And I have told you guys many times, this market is extremely manipulated. I'm actually going to be coming up with a video in the near future discussing the stock market and how it's complete BS. So definitely make sure you are subscribed for that video because it's going to be fun. But the markets are manipulated. And for whatever reason, maybe they want to keep things going until November 3rd after the elections. There's other speculations kind of floating around out there, but they're keeping the market propped up. Literally, the Federal Reserve can choose when they want to see a recession. If they just jack interest rates up, guess what, honey? We're in a recession because people are not going to be able to afford to get into debt. And debt is what keeps our economy kind of running around, okay? So that's problematic. So I have reason to believe that they're keeping things floating right now, but they can also control the fate of the economy as well. And if they want to soak up some more profit, if we believe that the rich want to get richer and the system is structured to keep the rich rich, then potentially we might need to see more of a pullback so they can kind of grab those assets up for the low, and then things can just kind of go high out of control. So then, unfortunately, what ends up happening is the average American loses their home or they lose their business. And then, the high market cap businesses or people who have a lot of money in real estate can pick up those foreclosed homes for a low price and then transfer that wealth to the 1%, right? Because wealth doesn't evaporate. When you lost your home, the money went to the banks and then somebody else picked up that asset for you, right? So it's just getting transferred from the average American to the top 1% or even the top 10th of a percent. So what I'm saying is obviously extremely speculative. Some people are of the belief that, the government's here for us and the Federal Reserve really have our best interests at heart. And, I won't confirm nor deny my opinions on that. But what I will say is it is manipulated. That's kind of a fact. We can see that people are literally in food lines, people are literally unemployed, and the stock market is doing its own thing, okay? So it's kind of hard to argue the hyperinflation argument because we see the stock market going parabolic. It did have a small pullback, but nothing goes up in a straight line, okay? So you might have some pullbacks along the way, but stock market is pretty much going parabolic, okay? Real estate is going higher in some areas, which is bizarre and beyond me. The Federal Reserve is also printing money nonstop, so that is a perfect mixture for hyperinflation, or at least inflation until the foreseeable future, okay? But like I said, I really My feelings, of course, and I really want to hear from you guys, but my feelings are they gotta get these assets for the low, and they're not gonna pay a premium if they don't have to. But like I said, I do want to hear from you all. This is a open environment. I want to have really good conversations in the comments. So do you believe that there's an ulterior motive and that the rich, they want to get richer so they can kind of orchestrate a downfall to collect assets? Or do you feel like, no, they have our best interest at heart, they're trying to put money into the system, they're trying to really help the average American, but that might just end up in hyperinflation? I do want to hear your thoughts. But that will do it. If you like this video, then please like this video and share it with your friends. And if you have anything else going on, you know what to do. Go ahead and binge watch me. And until next time, keep your money up.